people of the World Wide Web. So it's a weekend and it's another movie review, and as the title would show you, that yes, this is Civil War. So this is the new movie. I saw you've seen the trailer, but if you have not, it is about America and obviously the 50 states, two of them kind of joining together to combat basically the president, and it is their kind of rebellion that is going on. That is the Civil War, what is happening. This story follows Kristen Dunst's character Lee and some colleagues of her as they try to go from one part of America to DC to basically get an interview with the president before he is essentially killed, kidnapped, or dethroned, whatever you would want to. That is the basic synopsis of this movie. And there is nothing after this film. There is when kind of the trailer is, or when the credits are kind of rolling, there is a picture that kind of comes into focus. It doesn't give away too much. And yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan, I will admit, of this movie. I think what the trailer shows to what the actual movie is are two slightly different things. Now, if you're interested in the whole subject matter of obviously Civil War and stuff like this, then yes, it does have some good points and plots and stuff like that to it. But overall, I think, I come across quite a few movies like this. But anyway, spoiler warning is going up and we should get into it. So yes, so the movie starts with Kristen Dunst. She is a renowned war photographer. She is called Lee. She has Wagner Molnar, who's Joel. So he's kind of the interviewer who those two are going around together, and on the first day of them going to like a rally in between this civil war that is going on, and obviously you have, I think it's Texas and another state, and they are called the Western Forces. It doesn't really explain this, and this is a bit confusing for me, not being American and stuff like this, that there's this war going on and it isn't very much explained why the war is going on and goes into details. It's like, this war is going on, bang, you're into it, this is what's happening. Obviously they're kind of protesting and taking pictures, and then a bomber goes in and blows them up, and this is where they meet Kaylee Poem, who plays Jessie. So she's a young photographer, obviously idolises Lee. She tags along for their journey the next day, and they also meet Stephen McKinley Henderson's character Sammy. So you have these four characters. Sammy is a bit of a interviewee type person as well, but he's very old and quite a large character. So these four are in a car, they leave part of America, and basically it's, I think, almost 900 miles for them to get to Washington DC, hopefully before the Western Forces go in there and kill the president, because they want to get the last interview, or Joel and Lee do. And obviously then you have Sammy and Jessie who are tagging along for the ride, and they're going through all these different states, and you see the side of things. That is the gist of the story. And stuff, and obviously they come across, obviously different states have different views, and it depends on where you are in America. Joel, obviously, I think he's from Hawaii. He has two mates that do come into the picture. They are both from Hong Kong, and stuff like this. And then you have kind of, as I say, it doesn't really explain the break. There are people who kind of come into a force of their own. There are some people who could be working for the president, and some people could be working for the Western Forces, or there could be people working for someone else. You never really know, because it never clearly explains of it. And this is this never clear definition. And maybe, you know, because of, I don't know, maybe if you're American, maybe they teach this stuff in school and it's more understandable and it's really good. And this is, I struggled a little bit, because obviously they have WF up quite a lot, but no one ever says it's the Western Forces and what the Western Forces are until almost to the end of the movie. But anyway, they go along this trip. Unfortunately, Sammy gets killed at one point, and stuff. And the two friends I mentioned in Hong Kong, they also get killed. And just, it's some of these, the reporters, they're going through war zone, they're going through all these different states and stuff like this. And in this wartime thing where you've got to be cautious, there's some stupid stuff that happens. And I'm just like, they know they're on a dangerous route anyway. And they mentioned very early on that people that reporters of press get killed in the capital and stuff like this, and that's where they're going to, that you would be on high alert all the time. And there's sometimes where there's like a sniper in a house and they get kind of almost gunned down. that you can kind of understandable, but it's just later on they just put themselves in some scenes that they don't really need to. This all culminates to a big battle at the end. Obviously, these reporters get to DC as the Western forces are going in, so they follow the Western forces. They're blowing up the building near the Lincoln Memorial, I think it is. For there, they follow them into the White House, and obviously then you have the last few people who are there to the president, and obviously this is where they're going. Jesse does stupid stuff again. They're shooting back and she jumps out, leaving Lee to jumping away, and obviously she gets killed. Then that gets completely and utterly washed over. There, and there's the earlier one where Sammy dies, and it was like no one listens to him, and all building up to it, and it's just certain stuff, and I'm like, you come across these movies, and obviously the subject matter is good, and obviously it is an interesting idea of film. And I say from the trailer it looks really, really good. But I just found it of them going on this story, of going on this journey even, for this dangerous territory and and they do stupid stuff. And I'm like, in what? I know your mind gets a bit absent sometimes, but you would just be on super high alert. Surely you would be cautious. And it's not like they do, I mean, it's like, when these two guys that come across that they know they're chasing them in a van, which already would set you on, you don't know if someone else has got a gun or something like that, and then that one each swaps from a car, and Jessie gets out and swaps her car, and I'm like, yeah, that's stupid. But then they drive off, and this is the part that they drive off, and then they get kidnapped, and then obviously that guy, he gets killed, and luckily Sammy manages to rescue, but he's the one that says, like, this is dangerous, we shouldn't be going anywhere near this, and and I'm like, he's making a lot of sense. You're being idiots, and you go, and the three of them go down there, and the other Hong Kong gets shot from there. And I'm just like, this is kind of your own fault. Like, you're not really cautious. This isn't really, and I say with Lee stepping in the way because of Jessie's being an idiot, and she dies, and basically it's like she dies for nothing, really. She dies so the person can kind of, what she was doing just takes over her, but she's younger, and it just seems very nonsensical, if that is the word. So yeah, and then I say that's what it is. They get to the president, who's played by Nick Offerman. He gets killed, and then that's the thing. And it really is it's kind of, it felt to me like the story was out there to display what it's like, which is understandable. There are shooting scenes of shooting each other, but there is so little explanation around what is going on and stuff, and there is stupid stuff that happens that don't give you enough information to lure you in. I mean, I've seen reviews and everybody seems to love this movie. To be honest, I was very disappointed if it was. I mean, I'm going to give this a 5.4 out of 10. Just because, as I say, subject matter is interesting if you want to go to it. I mean, I don't know the logic behind some of the story ones. I mean, I would, like, they explain that there is two nation factions and thing, but there's no elaboration to that. And I think you needed to build this world and understand what they're going through, and then you could be more personalised with these people. And I say, the 3 people, or 4 out of 6 that say that these news people are on, like half of them are dead by the end of it, and it's stupid. It's Sammy dies helping the others out because they're morons at doing stuff, and then Lee dies because Jessie's an idiot and not paying attention, just because she, and whether that's down to teaching or something. And I just think it felt like it didn't give enough body to the story. But anyway, that has been my movie review for the film Civil War. Have you seen it? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. I've been Cypher Sigma Screen Time, and I shall see you in the next one.